This is Fox 21 local news right now at 5 p.m.
Fox 21 local news right now at 5. Right now at 5, new information continues to come out following a deadly officer-involved shooting. What the family's lawyer says tonight. And a pilot is recovering after crashing into a river who beat the first responders to the scene. Good evening and thanks for joining us for Fox 21 local news right now at 5. I'm Yammer Radke. Right now, first on Fox 21 local news tonight, police are looking for the two people who stole a woman's car at gunpoint while she was using an ATM in central Colorado Springs last night. Police say around 11:45, a woman was using an ATM in the area of Platt and Circle when two people approached. The robbers pointed a gun at her and demanded she remove all her money she could. She was unable to make a withdrawal, and the suspects took her keys, got into the car, and sped away. An admitted gang member and his girlfriend are facing drug and gun charges after officers pulled them over in eastern Colorado Springs Sunday. Police say cocaine, meth, and a gun were inside. The driver, 25-year-old Christopher Moody, and 26-year-old Shally Lee now face several drug and weapons charges. Moody is a self-described member of the 211 crew. Right now, going across Colorado, a veteran in Aurora was shot and killed by police in his home while trying to protect his family from an intruder. Now the family's attorney is calling into question the actions of the officers that night, describing the incident as reckless. Jason Grunauer explains.
That all-American father, that American grandfather.
High praise for the Vietnam vet, the Purple Heart and Bronze Star recipient. The man shot and killed by police after killing an intruder who kicked in his door and tried to drown his 11-year-old grandson in the bathtub.
Mr. Black, had he not been killed by the Aurora police, would right now be in the mayor's office being celebrated as the hero of Aurora.
His family's attorney now making explosive claims about what happened Monday morning.
The Aurora police knew that what Mr. Black was wearing had a description of the intruder. It appears that there were no warning calls. It appears that he was possibly shot by the police from outside of his house as well.
Police have admitted to shooting and killing Black, but haven't said anything except that officers confronted an armed male who was armed with a firearm.
I think the death of Mr. Black was absolutely reckless. I think there is no justification for shooting Mr. Black.
Now his family is left without their patriarch, still with countless questions.
They want to be able to do that military service for him, and they want to then be able to start the process of moving on.
The family's lawyer says the veteran's 11-year-old grandson has been released from the hospital. In other news from across Colorado, passengers on board a United Express flight had to disembark on a runway at Denver International Airport. After the plane made a hard landing, the aircraft was arriving from Yampa Valley Airport. The flight is about an hour long. Photos of the plane show a blown out tire. It's not clear if that happened before the plane landed or as it was landing. The flight was operated by Trans-State Airlines, a regional carrier. There were 50 passengers and 3 crew members on board. No one was injured. Meanwhile, a pilot suffered injuries but was conscious after a small plane crash near the Utah-Colorado border. The plane crashed into the Colorado River on Tuesday, and rafters actually helped bring the man to safety. The Mesa County Sheriff's Office says the pilot was the only person on board the plane. There's no word on what caused the crash or the extent of the pilot's injuries. Molson Coors is trying to sell pot-infused drinks in Canada, where consumable marijuana become legal next year. The Colorado-based brewer says its Canadian division will partner with the Canadian cannabis producer, the Hydropothecary Corporation, to develop a non-alcoholic drink containing marijuana. Pot becomes legal north of the border in October, and edibles become legal next year. No word on if a product is being developed for American consumers. Right now on tonight's traffic alert, you may want to avoid the Cimarron and I-25 area. Northbound I-25 will have lane interruptions from Cimarron to Bijou for pavement work. Detours will be in place. The work is scheduled to wrap up by 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. Meanwhile, Judge Orr Road will be closed for culvert repairs. It will be closed from Eastonville Road to Highway 24 starting August 13. Detours will be in place Federal Transportation and the voter-approved Pikes Peak Regional Transportation Authority are paying for the project. And also in the county portions of Bradley Road and Security will close for about 2 weeks starting Thursday for repaving. The road will be closed in both directions between Grinnell Boulevard and Goldfield Drive. A marked detour will be in place, but because the detour is through a neighborhood, drivers are asked to consider using alternative routes. Right now, here's what's trending. A hard-working and dedicated father making his daughter's dreams come true. That's 14-year-old Nevaeh Smith, overjoyed after getting her dream dress back in June. It's a dress she thought she would never have for her 8th grade dance because her family simply couldn't afford it. But her father, Ricky Smith, refused to let his baby girl down. Smith, who works 3 jobs to support his family, managed to save up the money and buy the dress. Still to come tonight, don't look for an airplane staple on your next Southwest flight. Why they are ditching the free peanuts.